안녕하세요, 여러분. Hi, everyone. So today's video is going to be talking about Victoria Francis Oracle cards and storytelling. So first off, before we get started with the video, I want to say, people that don't know me or don't know who I am, hi, my name is Nicole, and I'm a very sensitive person. I just wanted to do that. And I'm very sensitive to spirits and to the animals and to people's energy. I can sense what type of energy or aura they are feeling. Like if someone's feeling sad, I can feel their energy through me. I think some people have that ability that can really feel other people's aura or energy. But I know I can't. So I'm very sensitive to spirits as well, and there'll be times where I'll get spiritual activities, mainly at nighttime. But recently I had gotten these Victoria Francis Oracle cards, and I got them Tuesday, July the 13th. And there's definitely a funny, not so funny story about it. It's like when they came in, sorry, it's a little emotional. Just give me a minute. I had did a reading on my mom, and the reading was very emotional. And this happened like around lunchtime or around like 1 or 2 or something. I think it was in the middle of the day or close to lunchtime. But anyways, when this card came in and I did a reading on her, and it was very emotional and intense, and I'll get into it of what type of cards chose her, of what the universe wanted her to hear. But I'll show you that in a minute, and also talk about Victoria Francis storytelling collection and how I got into Victoria Francis artwork and where it all started. Okay, but anyways, it will be like another thing that I want to add in these 2 posters or illustrations that I have on my wall that will relate to the reading. So these are the 3 cards that chose my mom. This one, the girl holding a rose in her mouth, represents sadness of a loved one. And then 17, the girl in the middle, she represents strength of a warrior and being strong in tough situations. And lastly, 25 represent death, the girl that's holding a skull. And that's a short meaning of what they represent. I'm not gonna say the whole thing of what each card means because it will be here forever. So I simplified it to make it very simple and easy for each card. And it's funny how before I read about what each card meant, I already knew that this one represents sadness of something, and then being strong, and then, yeah. So now you know that the card that she chose represents of what was happening before one of her dogs. This card that I'm showing you guys right now, I have on my wall in my room, and it's a vampire girl in the cemetery And both the girl, the vampire girl, and the angel behind her has black tears running down their faces. And then below is gravestones in the background. And this one is so inspiring towards me because it holds a deep meaning. And because not just I resemble it, meaning, like, of course I love vampires and all that, but at the same time I like hanging around the cemetery to represent peace and quiet, because I like how peaceful it is in the cemetery, but something about this card just captures my attention. And in the beginning I saw Victoria Francis artwork when I went to go to visit my cousins and aunts in Colorado. And I don't remember what year it was, but it was years ago when I was very young back then. But I fell in love with Victoria Francis artwork the first time. And that first time that I fell in love with her artwork is this next piece that I'm going to show you. But it's not in this deck of cards, but it's also on my wall. And also, before I move on to the next card, I just wanted to say that I also have Victoria Francis' book, and this piece is also in her book as well. And it's also in her playing cards as well. So, yeah. And I just like how she has blood dripping down her white dress, and look, she has flowers in her hair, and I have flowers in my hair, but mine are roses. And I have different ones. I have this one that's all black, and then I have one that has actual purple in it. But yeah. And then I also decided to do my eye makeup for this special occasion because I thought it would be appropriate to do that for today. But anyways, I'm a big fan of Victoria Francis and I love her artwork, and now I'll show you the next piece. So next is this painting or a poster that I was talking about. Okay, so this relates to me, and also this was the first piece that I saw of Victoria Francis artwork was when I was in Colorado. This really captured my eyes with the flowers in her white hair, and then have blood coming down her face while she's holding her dead cat in her arms, or a dead cat in her arms. You can see her black angel wings in the background. She represents Angel of Death, and this piece is very inspiring. And I also did a paper on her, what she represents and all that, and I thought it was appropriate to talk about this for this video since we're talking about Victoria Francis and everything else in between that kind of relates. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because she's holding a dead cat that represents death, and recently, rest in peace to my mom's dog that was 15 years old. Rest in peace, July 13th. You heard me, 13th, the number 13th, the day that he passed. And it's just crazy how this poster just speaks to me, because it doesn't matter how much death there is, sometimes you gotta stay strong to be able to move forward in life. Because if you're not strong enough, you won't be able to move on with your life and do the things that you want to do in the future. It's better to move on to the future than be stuck in the past and not go anywhere. So this piece is very dark and mysterious, but it has a really great point and so inspiring. So this is the second poster piece that I have on my wall. I showed you the vampire girl with the cemetery that I have on the opposite of my wall. That's also in her book. But yep, that's what I wanted to share. I try not to be so emotional. But, yep, and that's all I have to say about that. I'm just a big fan of Victoria. So I just want to add in that this is what the oracle cards, Victoria Francis oracle cards look like. They all look the same on this side. Then when you flip them, they're all different as well. Here's also the book of the oracle cards that tells like what the cards mean. It's very long for each section, for each page. So that's why when I tell you the short meaning, it's because I don't want to be here forever. But anyways, yep. That's kind of dark and mysterious vibes, which I like about Victoria Francis. Her style, her looks, her illustrations, it just gives very dark, mysterious vibes, which I like. And now I have 4 different oracle cards. First, the fairy oracle cards, and then the Celtic, and then those 2 are side by side, and then the Wednesday oracle cards, and then now Victoria Francis oracle cards are next to Wednesday as well. So it's like dark and mysterious oracle cards on one side of my shelf, and then kind of smiley, happy, nature, fairy vibes, oracle cards on my other shelf, you know, to give it, I don't know, because I feel like those type of cards will relate to whatever theme or feeling or emotions, but just to let you know that every oracle cards or tarot cards have energy and feel them in them. So just like I say, just be careful and just choose the ones that fits right to you, that calls out to you, that you're attracted to. And remember to have crystals around you to help protect yourself, and have nothing but positive vibes and energy feeling throughout your body. And if there's anything else you like to work with that has to do with herbs, you can do that, incorporate that into your daily life as well. I, on the other hand, like to work with rose petals. I like to work with rose petals because it feels natural with my loving energy vibe that I have, since I love roses, red roses especially, and that's part of my brand name as well. So since I relate to the number 2, and that's also one of my angel numbers, or is my angel number, 2 was calling to me, so I divide these cards into 2 stacks evenly, and the first stack, nothing. The second stack was these 2 that had popped out that was very like personalized to me, like it relates to me so much, which is kind of crazy. So the number 15 represents creativity and expressing your skills and following your path and in your heart. That's to simplify that down. And then 24, to simplify it down, represents not just following your heart, just like card 15, but it also represents being strong and tough situations, and to live in the moment, and because you don't know when you'll get the opportunity to do that again before it's too late. So sometimes you gotta do the one thing that scares you the most that you want to do and go for it, because you never know when you'll get a second chance. And that's pretty much what that has to say about that. And combine these two cards together, they'll represent positive energy and leave any negative feelings lingering around. Throw it away in the trash can, because only if you attract positive energy, you will get positive energy back, because that's just how it works in the universe and in any situations. Like, everything has energy as well, just like these rose petals as well. So what I wanted to add before I forget is, if this reading somehow relates to you, then great. If it doesn't, then great. This is actually was supposed to be for my mom in part 1, and then me in part 2, of how it relates to our lives and how the universe wants to send a message to us. And looking into these readings is a perfect way to get your questions answered.